Hey guys, it's Alice again. Welcome to a Q&A. I feel like I haven't done one of these in so long. I always really enjoy these. These are the easier videos to film as a YouTuber, but I just love chatting to you guys and answering questions that you've been wondering about me and just having a nice little sit down chat. So grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or water or juice, whatever you like. Let's get going, and make sure you follow me on Twitter because that's always where I ask my Q&A questions and you don't want to miss out for the next one. Anya Spey asks, how do you get rid of fake friends that are making you unhappy? Love you. I love you too. The really nitty-gritty answer of this is to get rid of them. And I know it's so much harder to do when you're at school and when you have to see those people every day. But unfortunately, that is the only way about it. You need to slowly kind of cut them out of your life. If you're unhappy with their actions, I mean, it's going to be better for you in the end if you don't have negative people around you. Maybe kind of consult them about it. Maybe they don't realise they're negative, so always try mentioning it to them, saying like, look, what you're doing is upsetting me, it makes me unhappy, I'd love it if we can kind of get past this. If you've exhausted all those avenues and tried everything to kind of make the friendship work and it's still not making you happy, try and find people that do. And I know I've been in the situation at school when obviously everything's very cliquey and you have to be in your groups and it's really hard to kind of make friends with other people, but there is going to be someone else there who's also in the same situation, who you're probably going to get on with really well, who you never thought you'd ever get on with. So just try and branch out, try and make some new friendships. Don't put all your eggs in one basket in terms of friendships, and you can do it. Like, it's not going to last forever and you're going to find some friends who love you for you and aren't negative. Becky asks, the question I hate getting asked, have you got your life after uni figured out? Or will you be going with the flow, carrying on with YouTube and illustration? So, the last Q&A I did, I actually said that I would possibly be moving to Manchester with Brandon because he's got acting school. Turns out the acting school he wants to go to is only based in London, so it looks like he's going to be in London. Originally I wanted to go with him, but the practicalities of living in London with the rent and everything like that just aren't suitable. Like, I really don't want to waste my money renting. I've done it for 3 years at uni and I just don't want to do it any longer. So what the plan is, hopefully, because I mean 2 months ago this was different, Brandon's going to get into acting school in London. I am going to go back and live with my parents. My brother is still moving out, so I'm going to make his room into my office, which means I can separate work and like sleep-in hours. And then hopefully I can continue doing my illustration work, continue doing YouTube. I'd happily I want to work freelance, I always have. I don't mind doing contract work, so say if a company contacted me and wanted me to work for them for 9 months from home doing their design work, I'd happily do that. So hopefully something like that happens. I do commissions, I just do stuff like that, and then I will go and see Brandon at different intervals. So I would happily travel down to London and stay wherever he ends up staying for like a week at a time, because obviously as a freelancer I'd have the freedom to do that. So that's the plan. I'll go and see him in chunks, stay at home, save my money, so eventually I can buy my own house. I just don't want to throw money away renting for the sake of just being in a situation. I'd rather save up and be a little bit more like wise about my money. I don't know. And I also really want a puppy. I can't stop thinking about puppies. I want a chocolate labradoodle, and I dreamt about puppies last night. This is how intense the puppy feels are getting. Chloe Jane asks, what is your weirdest guilty pleasure, as in anything? Weirdest guilty pleasure? I don't really know. Like, it's bad. It's a bad habit. And I mean, I feel like guilty pleasures are bad habits, but I get a lot of pleasure from squeezing spots. And I feel like a lot of people do. And it's hitting back on me right now because my skin is not having a great time, because I get anxious and then I'm like, right, I'm going to squeeze my spots, and then I just get carried away. But that's definitely a guilty pleasure. I also bite the inside of my cheeks, but it's like weirdly satisfying. Does anyone else get that? Like, I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but it's a bad habit and I can't stop. Claire asks, how do I accept myself for who I am and show myself some love? Well, this is kind of a tricky one. I feel like a lot of kind of self-acceptance comes with age. I feel like every single teenager in the world goes through the stage of hating every single bit about yourself and just not seeing an end and just thinking you're ugly and just horrible things like that. And everyone has been there and everyone still has those feelings. Even at this point, I have days when I'll just look in the mirror and be like, you are disgusting. But with age, I've kind of learned to just not care so much. And I know it's kind of difficult to hear that if you are currently a teenager experiencing those things, but I think in a way it made me stronger having those insecurities when I was younger, because now I've learnt to love them. Like, I now accept that I don't have the skinniest legs in the world. I accept that I don't have the biggest boobs. I'm not bothered about it. And I've kind of just learnt to live with it. Like, this is me. These are my insecurities. There aren't any things that anyone would ever look at me and say, oh, look at her fat legs. Like, these are just things I'm putting onto myself. So just try and remember that the things that you see that you think are wrong with yourself, no one else probably sees that. Like, it's in your head. And remember just to look at yourself and just be grateful for the body that you have. Be grateful for the fact that you're healthy and that you aren't in as bad of a situation as some people probably are. And just, I don't know, it does come with time. It's a really hard question to answer, but just fake it till you make it. That's what I do. Like, people think I have so much confidence for doing try-on hauls, when I can definitely say I am not happy with my body right now, and I'm not as confident as I used to be. But I am going to flaunt my body. I am aware that I have flaws, and I'm not going to hide that. And I feel like by doing that, it's putting a good message out there. I am not confident with my body at all, but I am going to fake it till I make it. Like, if someone else has a body like me and feels uncomfortable and sees the fact that I can showcase mine, maybe it'll make them feel better. Them feel better. Them feel better. That was a very long answer. What are you most excited for after uni? Asks Tasha. I am very excited for my puppy. I want a chocolate labradoodle, and I think I already have a name, but I'm not going to tell you that bit. I've literally been searching on Amazon for like dog toys and crates and how to train your puppy, and I'm just like all in puppy mode. And it's because my mum finally said yes to me getting a puppy, and I just can't handle my excitement for it, and it's the only thing keeping me going. Like, that's the only thing motivating me to finish uni at this point. My battery died. I can't remember what I was up to, so I'll just go on to the next question. Becca asks, have you ever had a life scare when you thought you were pregnant? I actually have, and I'm not sure I've ever told my parents about this. So this happened, Mum. When I was like 16 or 17, I was in a really, really unhealthy relationship. I have done a video about it if you want to know, but I'm not going to go into detail because that was a long time ago. But I got the implant, and I have it now. This is where it goes, in my arm. And I was obviously sexually active with my boyfriend at the time, and I missed a period and I freaked out, and it turned out that it was because my implant stops my periods. I now know that. I now don't have periods because of my implant, but obviously this was the first time I'd ever had the implant put in, and all of a sudden my period stopped, and I thought the worst, as you would. I must have been about 16 or 17. I told him. He wasn't very nice about it. I obviously didn't want a child, but my brain was just so fuddled and muzzled and blah, blah, blah. I just didn't know what to do. So we panic walked to Tesco's. He was horrible to me the whole way there. I did a test in Tesco's toilet, and then we found out it wasn't. So it was a false alarm. Very, very happy it was. Like, I just don't want to, like, I'd taken the precautions. Like, that was not something that I'd even thought about, but yeah, that's just intense, and I'm very glad nothing came of that, because that was not a healthy relationship at all. Hannah asks, would you ever choose your career over a relationship? I feel like sometimes everyone has to, like, sometimes you've got to do that, but the relationship will always be there. Like, I feel like the career makes you. The career is what you're going to spend the majority of your life doing, and if you don't enjoy that, then you're going to have to make a change. So if I got an amazing opportunity, the likelihood is that I'm going to take it. I've just got to learn how to adapt my relationship into that. Like, it's not really choosing it over, it's kind of adapting your relationship to fit it. Like, for example, Brandon's going to have to move to London. It's not ideal. I'd love for us to be able to buy a house together, but as a relationship, you just kind of deal with it, and he does choose his career over his relationship because that's what he wants to do, and I'm all for supporting that. So I don't know how much sense that made, but yeah, I'd choose the career over, and my partner, I would hope, would support me. Jessica asks, has there ever been something you've always wanted to do but was too scared to give it a try? See, like, move away and travel the world is always something I want to do, but I'm always scared to do it. But I feel like everyone's like that. I was always scared to try smoking when I was younger. Like, this is really weird, but I was always, like, some people tried it and just accepted that they didn't like it, and that was it, moved on. I just point blank refused to try it. I would never ever put a cigarette in my mouth or anything similar. I would not do drugs. I just wouldn't take a drag at all because I was so scared that I would do it and actually like it, and I just didn't want to be a smoker. So I used to be really scared of it, but I still don't want to do that. I've still, hand on heart, never taken a drag of a cigarette or anything similar. I've always wanted a tattoo, and I've always been scared of committing to the tattoo. I don't know. I'm not the most adventurous person in the world, not gonna lie. Like I'd love to go like skydiving, but that scares me. Like one of my uncles broke both his legs skydiving, so that kind of put me off. Yeah, stereotypical things, I guess. Last few questions. Kira asks, what's your favourite thing about going to uni? I really like the independence and the connections I've made. They also can work as like things I don't like, because the independence is great, but when you realise you've run out of washing and you've got to do all your own cooking, like sometimes it gets a bit tedious, but I like the fact that I can go out whenever I want, I can do what I want, I can live my own life. It's nice because I got to the point when I was at home that I just wanted to spread my wings and try something else. I also really like that you see your friends pretty much every day. Like my course is a little bit different to the fact that we're all kind of split up and we all have separate things, but I've now got like my solid group of friends to see, and it's so nice. Like I miss first year for like the newness and the excitement, but I also really don't. I've definitely enjoyed the second half of second year and third year a lot more because I've kind of found my place, I'm comfortable with my friends, like there's no drama, touch wood. It's just nice and chill, everyone knows what they're doing, and I just really like it. And I don't know what I'm gonna do when I leave. It's gonna be so weird. Okay, final question is from Rachel, and it says, any tips for designing graphics in Illustrator? I have a like drawing tablet, it's called a Wacom into something, I'll leave it on the screen. That is amazing, I love it, but tips I can give really is watch tutorials on YouTube. I taught myself Photoshop from the age of like 13 because I had nothing better to do with my time, and I literally just followed tutorials and did so many different tutorials that now I look back at them look really rubbish, but like it kind of taught me the basics of how Adobe software work. I only started using Illustrator in first or second year at uni, so I've only been using it for like 2 years maximum, and I'm still not great at it. Like I'm not terrible, but I'm not great. So practice, honestly, practice makes perfect. Like don't put too much pressure on yourself, like just go for it. People are often too scared to just put pen to paper and try it. It's okay if you make a mistake, you can just delete it. No one needs to see it ever again, but you've practiced. That's the key. At least that's what I found anyway. So that is it for my extremely chatty Q&A. Goodness knows how long this video is going to be. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Let me know if you got to the very end of the video. It'd be cool to see which of you guys could stick with me for this long. Thank you so much as always. I love you a lot, and I'll see you very soon for another video. I can't breathe. I'm now going to go and eat some food because I am absolutely starving. Bye!